All right, everybody. We are here going into a big old best of 5. It was the EPT 113 EU Weekly Grand Finals. And of course, there's a reason this is called the Big Gabe Weekly Cup. It's because he's won about 50 of them. This is Big Gabe. And that is a very impressive record when you keep in mind he's regularly playing against Max Packs, Raynor, Clem. These guys playing every week pretty much, and yet HeroMarine comes out on top so often. And facing off against him in the finals is a player who's a little bit of a surprise, performer here. Definitely the underdog going into this one. This is Clan GP's Skillous. But he had a great run to get here. He's taken out some incredible players. I think he took out Max Packs in the previous round, if memory serves. So it's going to be really interesting because Skillous always brings a slightly different approach to the matchup. Now, I don't think he's necessarily quite as good at the kind of back and forth multitasking as HeroMarine. Skillous, of course, coming into the, popularity and becoming a top player probably from maybe 2017 he started really ascending. I remember first meeting him when he was still only like 17 years old, I think it was, at WCS, one of the Kievs. And he was just one of his first big international events, I believe, if memory serves, because he was like big smile on his face. He was just going up and saying hello to everyone. And it was really cool to see such a happy player to just be out there competing, doing what he wants to do. So Skillous, ooh. Okay, Marine does get the probe scout, but did he see the command center? He didn't. Okay, so HeroMarine's going command center on the high ground, but because that scout only saw one gas, you could technically be worried about there being another barracks proxied, right? This could be a Marine, and then there's Marauders being proxied. Skillous, though, is a player who does not mind playing greedy, right? He's like, nah, you just built the command center on the high ground. Like, he's basically just made that read. It's a little bit of a gamble, because technically you didn't actually confirm the command center or anything like that. And that's why it is a little dangerous that he's not like double checking at all, because imagine if proxy Marauders were coming in, right? Super late warp gate, you're only building adepts, you come forward, get a bunker up. I mean, you're gonna probably, actually, I don't know, does that even work? Because like, he's got a fast enough Stargate, you could just get a Void Ray out before the Nexus dies, right? And nothing would shoot up with that? I actually don't know how those builds would time out. High level knowledge, that does not actually mean much. Personally, guys, the peak of my Terran career when I was doing my road to 6K Terran, for those who don't know, 6K Terran is top 10 on the NA ladder. So it was a bit of a lofty goal. I stopped just short of 5.6K. I was a solid 410 MMR short. But I took a single ladder map off Skillous when he was playing at 4 AM Russia time. I was like, yeah! And I won a TvP versus him, and it's like the crowning achievement of my Terran career is taking a ladder game off a very tired Skillous. And it will never happen again. But I actually feel like Skillous, that was like, 6 months ago? I think Skillous has actually been so good the last month or two. I've been seeing him crushing a lot of online tournaments, kicking butts. And I don't think that rare occurrence is going to be happening again now. He's got a Phoenix build up against this Hellion drop. Proxied Starport. Now, if you can pick up 2 of these Hellions, they can't one-shot probes anymore, but the Phoenix are out of position. He doesn't have any spotting down there. Oh, here come the Hellions! Gabe just diving straight into that middle line. Those probes, they're stacked. Oh, Skillous, not like this. Okay, he's got to pick up more. Still 2 Hellions are there in the red. Now, of course, he's got to drop these Hellions and kill them, I think. Oh my god, this is so scary. He's trying to shade after them, but these 2 Hellions up here are where the damage is happening. He's got 1 pickup. Oh my god, 15 probes. Oh, this is too much damage. And Skillous was not expecting a proxied Starport Hellion drop like that. That hits like a bloody brick shithouse, doesn't it? Hitting right on the 4-minute mark with 4 Hellions, gets 15 probes, and with no third Nexus up, Skillous has massive pressure on him to do counter damage. He's going to go for a 5 adept counter attack. He's got 4 Phoenix over here, 5th Phoenix on the way right now as well. Starport comes back, and okay, Starport there. We've got 1, 2, 3rd barracks is on the way. I don't really see this doing much damage. If you could pick off the Cyclone, maybe? If the Adepts could get up the ramp. I mean, if HeroMarine doesn't raise his depot is like actually the best bet. Otherwise, you're just going to use the tank-friendly fire to kill some SCVs, I think. Phoenix get pushed back. These Adepts taking some damage. I think this might already be almost game over for Skillous. That tank is still in range. Okay, the Adepts actually, none of them die, right? Tanks don't do that much damage on their own to the Adepts. And, oh, he does stumble in range. But you know what? 4 Adepts get out. Gets a bit of mining time, gets 2 SCVs. The problem is there's no third base. Skillous is like, I need Colossus. He realizes he needs Colossus, so he's gone 4 gas straight away, but that means his minerals is so low. The Phoenix are gonna get the Cyclone. Oh, big game with a big repair. Oh, 8 drilly boys all turning together. They start to simultaneously drill the undercarriage of that Cyclone and repair it right through the Phoenix lift. And these are the little fights that Skillous desperately needs to be winning to get back in this game. But as it is, guys, this is a really smashing start for HeroMarine in this series. And it's a good way to start it off because it's such a committed play and a kind of crazy play, right, from HeroMarine to go for the proxy starport. Technically, Skillous had the best possible setup against it, but because he kept all his Phoenix in the middle, he would have been protected from here, here, or here. The one angle he wasn't protected from was there. Now, if it was a Widow Mine drop, I don't think he would have cared too much, but I think in hindsight, he should have had a unit on the edge, whether an Adept or a Phoenix down there looking, or maybe he should have sent one of his Phoenix out to look for proxies. I think that's actually the big thing, because you can still not reveal that you've gone Phoenix, and Skillous was obviously trying to hide it because he wanted HeroMarine to commit to a drop, commit to a Raven harass, something like that, so that he gets free kills with the Phoenix, then goes across to harass. But I think with that, you can still scout for proxies with your first 2 or 3 Phoenix, and that just makes you safe, and you don't give anything away by doing that, so that definitely is a problem. Oh, Phoenix going after the medevacs there. We'll see what happens. Ooh! Oh! 2 Widow Mines hidden behind the starport! Oh, it gets worse and worse, man. We've got Bio, Medevac, a tank, a Cyclone, 2 Medevacs coming across the map. 3rd CC's down behind this. Skillous has got, what, 1 Colossus on the way. He's trying to get double carrier and +1 air weapons. Guys, if there was ever a way to come back when way behind, it's surprise carriers! I just don't think he's going to get there in time. This 1 Colossus without Viagra upgrade is going to have to do so much. Does have 2 batteries there. The Colossus doing some pretty sick damage. Cyclone locking onto that, but yeah, Cyclone. Oh man, the Colossus needs to hit the Marines, but you notice HeroMarine's very aware of that. Lets his Cyclones and Marauders clear this out, and then he will push forward. Takes out the Colossus, and Skillous taking way too much damage to those first aliens. Let's actually very quickly check that. This is going to be like a 30-second check. I think this landed right on 4 minutes. Oh no, it was right on 350. This is super crisp, guys. I guess this was a Marine factory build, wasn't it? So you do actually get your factory up really quickly. So like I said, guys, Skillous hasn't really scouted at all. And if he'd sent 1 Phoenix out here, and then 1 Phoenix down here, he could do that. The problem, of course, is if a drop comes up the center through the guts, and your Phoenix are a bit too spread, you can't pick up on time. But I think obviously in hindsight, we could say, well, it would have been the better choice in this game. Luckily for HeroMarine, he does pick the least defended angle here. Adepts are at the front, Phoenix are in the main, and this just did a bit too much damage. Now, in hindsight, Skillous should have shaded these Adepts earlier. He should have already shaded these Adepts, I think, and then that could have already been kind of tracking these Hellions. And then, because the thing is, if it was just 9 probes, that wouldn't be too bad, but it's these 2 Hellions, 2 hit points and 19 hit points, that actually do way too much damage, like way too much, right? Those extra 6 probes, I think, is absolutely a kick in the dick for Skillous and gets HeroMarine the game. Nice game 1. GG. All right, guys, let's go to game 2. It was a smooth start, but a very aggressive build order. Let's go into game 2. Mouse Sports HeroMarine. Of course, Clan GP's Skillous down here in the bottom left side. He's going to be going for a gate scout, and you can see he's going to try and wall off this jumping ledge, which means he might want to put a pylon there to block that a bit later. Don't know if he'll put his 2nd pylon there or his 3rd pylon, just to block the Reaper jumping in. If you don't think it's a Reaper opening, you can just skip it, because obviously that pylon can get sniped from a drop very easily from the low ground. And this looks like a very simple way of doing it, fam. This is just like real standard solid opening. Does HeroMarine... He's not even going to scout. I don't think HeroMarine wants to scout, because this SCV is queued to just build a command center. You can see how he's queued up to mine 5 minerals, go build that command center when he can. Skillous does a little bit of harassment. Oh, okay, no. The scout... Okay, so this SCV fights the probe, then goes to scout. And he's going to pull another SCV to help fight this probe and get the command center up. Now, Skillous gets his shields regenerated, and he's going to just... Oh! He gets a hit off, but then he's like, not really worth fighting. It's more important to block this command center. You can see right on 400 minerals. And HeroMarine does a good job of scaring that probe off, and he gets the command center down immediately. Now he's going for a Reaper expand. And does he continue for a scout after seeing the Nexus? Because I would always do that, but some people turn around here after seeing the Nexus. I like this. So he's confirming that it's not a max build, and he's also checking, hey, are you going one gas and saving up a lot of chrono boost for like a parting style adept attack? So I really like that HeroMarine's actually scouting everything. When the Terran players were only scouting 18 supply, coming across, seeing a Nexus and turning around, I always thought that was kind of the dumbest meta, where the Terran players were only getting away with it because the Protoss players weren't playing very diverse styles and weren't punishing them. Now, as you see, he could jump up and down that ledge on the left side. Reaper's going to come in the front. Oh, that probe's in the open. That'll be an easy snag. When the Reaper comes in, if I've got a probe on the low ground, I do like to hide it back there usually, but you can see Skillous was just a little too slow to send it there. Oh, okay, Reaper does pick away at the Adept. We've got a factory on the way as well. No bunker. So he's gotten away with no bunker. And the thing is, actually, this is, I would say, one of Skillous's habits that might be considered a weakness, is Skillous loves to deny scouting. So he doesn't pressure with early Adept Stalker very much. So if I were to look at him, and this has kind of popped into my head from playing against him, from casting him, you can very regularly skip the bunker. And that is a weakness if you do that every game. If you even just 1 in 3 or 4 games get like an early Zealot Adept pressure or something like that across the map, then that's going to force him to build a bunker more, and it makes HeroMarine's build order way less smooth. Now, as a Terran, if you could just bounce your Reaper around, get a probe kill, scout what's up, you know exactly what's going on. Well, I guess you haven't seen the Stargate yet. Can you see it? Oh. Oh, sick plays! Bounces himself across the gap. The Adept and the Stalker were like, we've got you cornered, boy. And he's like, oh, do you? Bounces himself across the gateway, sees that it's Phoenix play. Very well done. He even wastes a Phoenix lift there. And behind this, guys, he swaps to a Cyclone. I think he was maybe building a tank before that. I'm not quite sure. But he is building a Cyclone now. He might have already been building it. Skillous is a big Stargate boy. So Skillous is one of these guys who's an expert at playing like Carrier, Colossus, Tempest, heavy Phoenix into Colossus play. And this is a style which I've actually had a lot of calls for people saying, Pig, teach this in Bronze to GM. How do you play Phoenix Colossus? And I've always said, oh, it's a bit of an inactive, very turtley style. But it does teach you to be very good at scouting with your Phoenix, very good defensively. So I'm thinking of maybe doing it towards the end of my Bronze to GM. So I want to study how Skillous does this and keep my eyes on it. As for now, you can see a very quick Robo comes down. I say very quick, it's not that fast. It does take a bit of damage. So the Robo... Oh, he loses a Phoenix! Oh my god, HeroMarine, just with the random Marines walking out of the base, gets an intercept. Big mistake by Skillous. This is really not good. And just these little details of HeroMarine, like, let's just poke out and see if I get a pick. You know, that's all that was. It wasn't that much. Now, he has seen factory with a tech lab. You now see these army coming out. You know you're getting pushed. So what do we got? Second gateway. The Robo's going to build an Immortal, and he's going to chrono that. He's going for Robo Bay for Colossus. Because he's playing a 2-base build, I think Skillous is pretty comfortable against this. If he was going 3-base, I think it's a different story. That being said, his gateway unit count is pretty low, and having lost a Phoenix already does suck, guys. It does really suck. Now, I'd like to pick off some of these Marines. Oh, he finds a Viking! The Viking should land for HeroMarine just to force the Phoenix to use a lift there. Doesn't do it in time. Phoenix get a good fight. Now remember, the Immortal is so good at killing tanks and Cyclones. He's only got 1 shield battery now. His tank sieged up in a very hard to access position. These Phoenix on behind will stop the rally. Ooh, the Phoenix need to help out, man. The Phoenix are not really helping right now. Skillous does take out the tank, but... I mean, I guess if you think about it, he only threw away his shit units, right? He lost some, what, a Stalker and Adept to Zealot. Not really the most important units. I think Skillous, this is actually so fascinating. What I thought was bad play, I'm realizing now is definitely not that. Now, battery overcharge should go down, I think, soon, just so he can top up the gateway and then also heal these units. So I do think this is a bit of a mistake from Skillous. Where's the battery overcharge, mate? You could have healed that gateway up. But notice how he's trying to preserve his Phoenix count. With my previous point, guys, he realizes that if he trades his Phoenix away here for just Marines and stuff, it's really bad for him. There's a third command center finish behind this. Does get a cancel on the third. HeroMarine has really got Skillous pushed back in a corner. He's going to have to send a probe out to the right. Skillous is desperately trying to take bases. His Phoenix, if they weren't going to fight, though, they should have been more focused on picking up the reinforce, right? So I get he wanted to keep them back, and if HeroMarine overextended, pick up units in range of the battery. The mistake that I think Skillous made there is that he should have, well, if you're not going to commit them to the fight, you might as well just be across the map picking off the reinforcements, because they're just not going to help otherwise. That's 2 tanks, 2 Vikings, and a Cyclone. That is a Colossus cuck squad, guys. They will make a Colossus into a cuck. They will make him watch as he just gets obliterated. Skillous will have to watch his Colossus just fall apart if it gets hit by the Viking tank. The Phoenix, though, deal with the Vikings very well. Still has not used his battery overcharge, guys, but that's going to go down. It's going to go down if he doesn't use it right now. Skillous, he finally activates the overcharge. And will that keep the daddy Colossus alive? The Immortal goes down. Dude, I think HeroMarine might just have this in the bag. I mean, that Colossus, let's get it fall. Is it the Colossus? The Colossus, oh, the Cyclone! The Cyclone manages to tap it to finish it off. Unfortunately, though, look at this. The Phoenix unable to pick off those tanks right away. Picks them off right now. Colossus will take out the Marines. Needs to shuffle the Colossus forward so it doesn't take a shank shot. There we go. And it does go down. Finally, this push gets held. Third base is finished behind it. So saving grace there. And remember, the Phoenix are still alive. He's still got 5 Phoenix. He's got a Colossus charge +1. Viagra upgrade about to come in. He's going up to 5 gateways, make that 8 gateways. So he's going into charge Colossus. And actually, HeroMarine's barracks were pretty delayed. Remember, the Phoenix did kill some SCVs. 6 SCVs went down to only 2 probes. Units lost tab is actually in favor of Skillous here. And was Skillous actually patient enough with the battery overcharge? And that was actually maybe kind of his saving grace. Because I guess if you think about it, HeroMarine can kind of shove a bit harder the moment battery overcharge is gone. Feels like Skillous is like supremely patient to the point where it keeps looking like bad choices from my understanding of how to play this style, but he has a much deeper understanding of how to play very defensive Phoenix Colossus. And we're seeing that his kind of assumptions and assessments of how to play different situations is very different to what my instincts tell me, and shows just how much of a deeper knowledge he has. Now, he does not have recoil available. Stim is not done. Stim is not done. That's very lucky. Otherwise, these probes could get chased down. 5, 6 workers go down. This is a one-way trip against the Phoenix, right? Nice focus fire. HeroMarine gets the red hit point Phoenix. Now, these Phoenix are going to try and chase this drop down. Colossus can walk down the ledge to help this out as well. So like I said, it's a one-way trip. You get a Phoenix, you get 7 probes, but you do lose 2 medevacs and a bunch of Marines. Not the greatest trade. However, HeroMarine has kept the pressure up and has a 4th base. So at this point, I think HeroMarine just swaps into turtle mode and, oh god, bunkers. He's building a bunker? He might need more than that, guys. His bio count's very low. He's into 5 barracks, going up to 8 barracks. He's got 72 workers. He's got a massive economy. But charge lots are very good at jumping on top of this small number of Marines. 17 Marines, 4 Marauders versus 15 Zealots. Now Archon's coming in. He's got the Phoenix as well. If they pick up the tanks, the Zealot Archon will slay the Marine Marauder, especially with a few Colossus swipes. This is a very scary attack. HeroMarine needs to pull the boys and he needs to pull them right now, but he has no idea. Oh no, he has no idea that this attack is here. That siege tank is going to maybe go down as well. It's out in the open. The Zealot Colossus coming on in. Where are those Archons? They're going to come in from the left side of the screen. Check this out, guys. Skillous is still in range a little bit. He's picking off the SCV, putting the command center. All right, we'll bring up that minimap still. He's only on 54 probes versus 76 SCVs. This is all in for Skillous, man. If he can get some Zealots in the natural, that would be nice, but I think he's just got to go! And he's go, he will! Zealots, Archons, Colossus, the Phoenix coming in and picking up some of these Marauders, interestingly enough, just trying to take out some of the meatier units. Look at this choke point, though. The Zealots are getting kind of hemmed in there and destroyed. The Zealots in the natural are breaking the production. More coming in. Colossus on the left side goes down. There's only 1 Colossus left. If that tank can take down this Colossus, that will be huge. The bunker is being repaired and it's doing so much damage. This 1 Colossus does survive. The siege tank goes down. More bio is popping out. He's got to raise the depot walls, I think, and maybe even pull these SCVs. He's trying to defend his production right now. Oh, this is a very scary moment. The production being kind of clumped together is helping out. 1 Viking would be massive right now. This 1 Colossus and War Prism, there's such a problem. The Marines come out of the bunker. They get slaughtered. This is a complete all-in for Skillous. He needs to break him right here. The Liberator's coming in, but the Zealots on the natural in the third. 25 SCVs have gone down. Look at that. He dodges around the lib zones. There's a Zealot on the tank. The Marines need to cover it, and they will. The SCV's trying to evacuate from the natural. That 1 Colossus. Dude, that 1 Colossus is up to 35 kills. 1 daddy long legs. If he can get rid of that Colossus, it's going to be okay for HeroMarine, maybe, but I think at this point 39 SCVs might just be too much damage. Saving SCVs from the third base. He's losing depots as well. And I think it's time for Skillous to take a 4th base, drop another forge, you know, get the transition going. Who knows, though? Maybe he just keeps going. Maybe he just keeps going right now. This is going to be a very intense situation. The Liberators do bring some freedom for the Terran. He's making a 4th orbital. This is a choice because he says, look, I'm behind on economy now. I lost a lot of workers. I'm going to need to drop mules like crazy. If I make a 4th orbital, we can do that. Now, he's going to also move his barracks to the front just as a safety mechanism. So he's going to go like get his tech labs out here and build a bit of a wall. He doesn't want to build one there, or tanks won't be able to fit in and out of his base. Something to keep in mind. But yeah, 5 barracks building, bio building, tanks building. He's going to drop a lot of mules out, but Skillous does have a 4th. Skillous is still ahead for sure. And the supply tells us a big story, right? Where you've still got this core of units. But I kind of just still worry a little bit. I feel like Skillous, he's not probing at all, which it basically means he has to go all in again. He's going to use Stalkers with Blink to get libs, other units to do what they can. I'm not saying it's not going to work, but if HeroMarine does keep in this position, I mean, you could force the 3rd to lift and chip away at it, but you cannot really break this area, I don't think. Hallucinated Phoenix does see this very defensive setup. Not really probing much at all. Skillous just trying to get up a 4th base. 2nd Robo DT Shrine. Time to take a 5th as well. You really did cripple HeroMarine. He can't really counterattack you with anything except a small drop here. Let's go to Skillous's camera. Does he notice this? He's watching his own prism. He's not watching at home. Ooh, the drop. The drop does grab his attention now. Does pull his probes away. He loses 2 of them. So that's a pretty quick reaction as we go back to everyone's camera. HeroMarine just going to pull back. Does he go for the pylon? It's dangerous because Blink is about to finish. Skillous could chase him down there. Oh, he's going to go for a quad drop towards the main. Or even the 4th base. Got to be real careful. Stalkers, as I said, could jump on this, and they do jump on that. Marines will focus fire. Well done by HeroMarine. Good Blink micro by Skillous, though. Who's... well, the Marines actually get like 3 Stalkers for a medevac and 2 Marines. That's a bloody good trade for HeroMarine. If you remember, has that 4th command center up. It's just a matter of when can he get out there to control and defend it. And he's going to go for the big drop right on past the army there. Try and maybe take out a few pylons and these zealots and then just pick up and leave would be a good way to trade. Loses 1 or 2 Marines, gets the zealots. Oh, thinks about trying to get the Colossus, but good micro by Skillous. Stalkers do take out 1 medevac. Oh! 3 hit points, almost get another full medevac there. Unfortunate for Skillous. Skillous trying to drag his ass back in to this situation, and I think snaying 4 base. I was like, take 5 bases, probe up. But he's actually kept himself in a more contained position. It makes it a lot easier to defend. He's just going to have to split his army now as HeroMarine moves out to a 4th base. HeroMarine says, my SCV count kind of sucks still, but I don't have many mineral patches. He desperately needs to take a 4th and even a 5th base because his natural's mined out, his main's mostly mined out, his 3rd's getting low on some of these patches, and the extra mules are just going to mine it out even quicker. Double drop does come in behind the 3rd base. Stalkers are going to punish you, though. The moment you pick up, those Stalkers are going to blink on your face, dude. But he forces the Stalkers to blink back defensively. Trades a bit of bio out there. Doesn't get too much damage. And it is going to be, what, 3 Disruptors. Now going Immortal production. Rebuilds the Robo Bay. I guess that's why he's building Immortals. Is just because he couldn't build Disruptors for a little bit there. +3 attack on the way. 2-1 into +3 attack. I like the armor upgrade getting squeezed in there as that nice, cheap, quick-to-upgrade ability. So 4th Command Center is up. He's got Tech Lab Reactor on his last barracks, does HeroMarine. That's interesting. He's building 5 Ghosts right now. Wow. Okay, his army's about to really take a jump up in power. That's so good versus like the Archons and Immortals especially. Obviously, Archons are 95% shields. Immortals, 50% of their, or I guess 1/3 of their total hit point pool is shields, but also it gets rid of their barrier. It activates that barrier when you EMP them. So that can be very, very nice. The Marine Marauder cleans up the Zealot, and then the Stalkers go, no. 1 Marine lives to tell the tale. 5th base on the left side for Skillous. He's got DTs going down the right side. That's 6 Dark Templar with Blink. That's going to be very powerful for assaulting this base. No defense there. HeroMarine doesn't have a 5th command center, and he doesn't have any defense set up on either of these bases. And this is the point in the game where it's like, I think we might need to set some defense up. Big army for Skillous comes forward, but there's an army right there. Disruptor, zoning shot coming on in. Now, a lot of people are beginner players, people who watch more than they play. Ooh, people who don't play Terran think sensor towers see DTs. They do not, guys. They do not give you vision of those DTs. They're standing in the vision. But remember, it does not reveal invisible units. You need actual detection to do that. DT is going to come on in. He's going to save the blink for the exit. Nicely done by Skillous. Army threatens on the left side. Quick pull by HeroMarine and a quick lift. Sends his Marauders down. DTs just blink away, fade out of there. +3 weapons, +2 armor, as well as +1 ship weapons on the way for HeroMarine. He's building more Liberators, so I would like to see a Fusion Core. Ooh, also, I'd like to see that Command Center get repaired. Nothing worse than losing an Orbital when you're not looking. Double Liberator Harass coming in. This one repositions from the back, but already a Stalker on its ass will take it down. Getting a few probes there, but not too many. Repositioning his army to the right side is HeroMarine. He's got to be careful. Disruptor's going around the corner, not really going to find the mark. The Vikings taking out the Colossus. Tanks on the left side could add some big fire on the Stalkers. Good Disruptor shot on the Bio there. If he can land one on this squad, that'll be game-changing. Gets a few Zealots, but it does take out a lot of the Bio. There's not much Bio left. These tanks on the left are absolutely slaying it. HeroMarine, though, he's lost 6 SCVs. All of his Bio army got cornered, and the Immortals Archon's Disruptor's still alive. Skillous also finds an edge. He finds a dirty edge. Only gets 1 Zealot warp in to start, but a few more Zealots and DTs could cause trouble in the main base. Disruptor clips another Marauder. That Archon very low, but he could rotate to the left side. Now the tanks do not quite have coverage of that ramp. This is a problem for HeroMarine because he's busy dealing with a mass Zealot DT warping in the main. He's like, shit, dude, shit. Ow, 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 ow. Skillous moving to the left side. HeroMarine cannot keep up, and he's got to tap out. Skillous ties up the series after a dicey hold in the early game. Patience. Do not throw your Phoenix away. Keep that count. Grow that count. Learning big lessons on how to play Phoenix Colossus from Skillous. All right. Let's go game 3. Looked like he had the advantage and might be able to push that one over, but wasn't quite able to close it out. The frustrations of trying to finish a game versus a turtling Protoss player. This is HeroMarine. From Mouse Sports, he's going to be going for a proxy barracks. It's forward. It's not crazy close to the enemy, though. And that makes me think he might do a 1-1-1. Might do like a factory and a starport there as well and go completely all in. This is, of course, Skillous in the top right. Once again, going for a gateway scout. Not going to try to wall off this area. And I mean, it's really exposed if you put your gateway there. Now, of course, this barracks positioning just off the center line of the scout. So it's a very unlikely spot for them to scout right there, right? And this is sometimes the best proxy locations are right next to their natural path across the map.
Thanks for the Bezos.
Remember that Skillous played kind of greedy in game 1, everybody. And that's a big issue. If you play a little bit too excuse me, just burping into my mic. Thank you, Dr. Justin, for the sub as well, by the way. Oh my gosh, just... he played a bit greedy, right? He just kind of expanded and went Stargate Phoenix against a player where, yeah, that was a 1-gas version. This is 2-gas. I think it was understandable greed in that scenario. In this case, he really should hang around. And no, okay, he's not going to proxy the factory. So it's fine. It's just a normal proxy Reaper build. He's going to want to see the factory here because that confirms that he's not being completely all in. So this is the scout where he says, okay, if I didn't see a factory here, that means it's probably out of the map, and that's where you freak out as a Protoss player. And you're like, second gateway, robo, shield batteries, anything you can. There's already a SCV on the way. Now, the reason why you don't attack that with probes is because it's bait. You go down there with a probe, that Reaper's going to kill you before you get the SCV kill. Now, the Stalker, if you go after the Reaper, you might not be able to get that SCV building the bunker in time. That bunker's 13 seconds from finishing. Good probe micro from Skillous so far. And nice play with the Reaper. If he can bounce the Stalker back as well, that could be nice. He's got a grenade coming up in a moment. And look at that. Yep, he bounces the Stalker. Even the SCV pops there. And notice he changes the rally points. We can pop the SCV out on the backside of the bunker for some nice, easy repair. Meanwhile, that probe harassing his wall off. He's going to build a single Hellion. He does build a command center in vision of that probe, though. And I do think that's a little bit of a mistake. And a lot of Terrans do this. They go, it doesn't really matter. But guys, he could just build it there. It's basically the same floating distance to the natural, but then he doesn't know if you've got a starport down yet or not, right? Whereas if he sees the command center this early, he can kind of assume you probably don't have a super fast starport coming out. Now that probe goes down as well. It looks like the SCV did get targeted, so good micro by Skillous, but he wasn't able to get a battery up. He's going to lose this pylon. You need to start another pylon right now, Skillous. Skillous is not willing to give up this. Oh my god, HeroMarine just dropped a mule! And he's still building Reapers? Okay, HeroMarine, there's a point where your troll strats are getting silly, dropping a mule to repair the bunker. And I think it's because he'd almost killed the pylon. And he was like, oh, if I get this, I could get out of control. But now I think he's overcommitting. I think HeroMarine got a bit of a stiffy, guys. And that sometimes, in some situations, is okay. But in this situation, I think he's definitely clicked with his dick a little bit with that mule. And look at it. It's going to run all the way home. He's going to try and get home and what, mine 1 mineral patch before he runs out? Oh, bam. Whether on the internet or in a StarCraft game, never click with your dangle, mate. Always, you know, do the thing that makes sense. That was what we call a half-baked, oh, this seems like a good idea, plan. So he gets 25 minerals off the mule. Normally you get 225. He's going to get 50. Will he get 75 minerals? So that's 50 minerals. I think he's going to get 75. So There we go, 75. I think he runs out before returning this trip. So he's mining 25 minerals off the patch. I'm not sure if he finished mining it or not, but he does collapse there. 125 minerals lost on that mule. Not to mention the delay, because I had to run home as well. So it was the first 125 minerals, which is the most important part to speed up your barracks, your engineering bay, building tanks and all the rest right now. So you can see HeroMarine from here is going to a very simple plan. He says, I've got 1 tank, I'm just going to get my 3 barracks up, tech lab, you know, stim, shields, swap the factory and the starport, build medevac. So it basically puts him in just a very generic, flexible army. But he's playing very bare bones up to there, right? Where he's like, no bunker, no wall off, 1 tank, no widow mine, no cyclone, nothing fancy. He's got 1 Reaper on the map for map control right now. Skillous, he's going 4 gate blank. He's going to take the fight to HeroMarine very soon. Lots of Stalkers and a Prism coming across the map. He looked like he was going for the 3rd. He postured like he was going for the 3rd. But he's not really, and HeroMarine has no idea about this attack coming. This tank is a bit too far forward. Marauder production needs to not be missing a beat right now. HeroMarine, you need Marauders building right now. Dude, he's taking a break on his Marauders. He sees the 3 gateways. Dude, where is your Marauder production? Every Marauder is sacred. He's starting a bunker, but he's not going to be there in time. This is a ton of Stalkers coming in. 11 Stalkers are about to shit on that siege tank. Those Marines are in trouble. Whoa! Tank gets 2 shots off. Loses 1 Stalker, 2 Stalkers, 3 Stalkers. Skillous with a bit of a slow move in from the Warp Prism. The stim kicks in. The stim kicking in. And you know what? I think a little slow on the blink forward. That was very well defended by HeroMarine. The main was completely undefended. And Skillous attacked the strongest defended angle. This was a real big mistake for Skillous. Now, if he can get the bunker up and repair that, that would be huge. The bunker, the SCV dies building it, but it finishes despite that. HeroMarine, he's got another tank on the way. He's building more bio. It looks like he's made it past the scariest stage. He's going to stem forward to punish this. The Prism tries to save these Stalkers, and I think Skillous is overcommitting. Yeah, even though Skillous is kind of breaking the defenses, like what's he really achieving with this? He's picking off bunkers. He's only up 6 probes. Yes, he has a 3rd on the way. But I just don't think he can spiral this. Now that there's 2 medevacs out, 2 more on the way, yeah, they're low on energy, but it's just kind of hard for Skillous to keep pushing into it. He's going to keep warping in Stalkers and trying to micro this out. HeroMarine is just jumping forwards, forcing Skillous back. Skillous is going to wait for Stim to wear off and then re-engage. So I've had a few people commenting in Twitch chat saying, why is Pig saying Skillous? What else are you going to call him? Do people actually pronounce his name separately? Skillous? I'm gonna say Skillous. The fuck's gonna say Skillous? I've had multiple people go to go, I'd love to hear an alternate pronunciation of this. What else are you gonna say? You're gonna say Skillous? Really? No way I'm casting saying that. Scarloose? Why would it be Scarloose? It's not typed like that. It's skill. It's not that at all. Ski, Skillo us. These are all terrible. His name is Lewis and he's from SK Skywalker. This is terrible names. You guys have terrible pronunciations. It's pronounced GGE-Mini-19. Yeah, sounds like it. Stalkers picking off units in the middle of the map. Zealots are going after the SCVs and the bio units going down there. The big army moving through the middle of the map. The SCVs are going to try to hold the ramp, but the Zealots, he could pick up some Zealots and drop them on the low ground to get at these Marauders and Marines, get the extra surface area. He's doing so much damage. The Stalkers shoving in. I think Skillous is just going to try and base trade this. He's trying to get a DT shrine up in the main. If he can warp in some more units, that would be huge. He's only got 2 pylons. Artosis there, Tasteless there, powering everything. He's broken the defenses. The tank will go down momentarily as he warps in everything on the front. And notice he's focusing the orbitals, guys, because if he can't scan, he's screwed. Has he warped in DTs? He's warped in 3 DTs. He's also going to recall. He recalled the Prism and 3 DTs. Uh-oh. He can scan. Oh no, he's going to scan your DTs. Skillous. He messed it up. No, the probe's blocking him from getting out of that last scan. Wait. If he warps in another one, he's got 4 pylons up, but he's warping in Zealots. He could have warped in DTs there. No. I mean, he'll kill the last command center, so maybe he can win the fight. But I don't think he can win the fight. He warps in sentries. Warp in DTs. He's warping in sentry. Oh, he lost the DT shrine, of course. Oh, but I can't believe he recalled. Why would he recall those 3 DTs? Oh no, Skillous with a big panic. There was no reason for him to recall. I think he just thought he could recall and then save the DTs with the Prism whenever the scan came down, but that was way too confident. All he needed to do was have even a single DT at this point and he wins the game, because there is zero detection or ability to rebuild for HeroMarine, right? HeroMarine cannot rebuild. He doesn't have any money. Now, Skillous does have a shield battery there, but I mean, he's just gonna have to micro his heart out with Stalkers is the only way he wins this game, because upgrade-wise, you've got +1, you've got Medevac, Stim, Bio, Tank. I think this is going to be a 2-1 lead for HeroMarine, yeah. Oh, that's heartbreaking, guys. Heartbreaking. Let's go back and look at it, because I guarantee you, if he doesn't recall those DTs, right? Because he warps in the DTs on the front. That's what these were, DTs. He just doesn't need to recall them. He just doesn't need to recall them. Oh no, bad call by Skillous under pressure. HeroMarine just shoving into his production, I think, a bit quicker than he expected, and oh man. That was the very last scan. Because the DT goes down, and this is the last command center, which had no energy, and it dies like 10-15 seconds later. Oh, heartbreaking. HeroMarine takes a 2-1 lead. Nice play by Gabe. Oh, right. On the left side of the map, we got HeroMarine going for that barracks outside his base. A little cheeky one there. Skillous is in the bottom right, and man, that's heartbreaking. He really should have won that last game. The just clutch. I mean, to be fair, he messed up his Stalker attack. If he blinked in the main, I think he wins that game. Or at least does crippling damage to HeroMarine, because he would have fought away from the tank, picked off the Marines when they only had Stim, no Medevacs, and no shields. In which case, Stalkers destroy them, because a stimmed non-shield Marine drops itself down to 35 hit points. It gets 3-shot by Stalkers. The Stalkers are plinking back, picking in the Prism. So Skillous, I think that last game is heartbreaking, because yeah, he should have actually got himself in a much better position with the Blink Stalkers. He didn't. He then puts himself in a winning position with the DT tech and the Zealot DT base trade, which is very clever. But the recall on the DT is an entirely unnecessary move. And I'm not saying this to be super hard on Skillous. I'm saying to give you guys insight into his mindset right now, where he's kicking himself. There's no pro player who's there like Pig, shut up. I made the best play in the situation. No, he's. I'm not like I would have made the same. I wouldn't have made the same decision, because my Dark Shrine would have finished 30 seconds later, and HeroMarine would have killed it before I warped in my first DT. So I wouldn't have been planning as far ahead and as smart as Skillous by any means. I'd be way far. I'd probably be dead from the early rush with the Reapers in the bunker, right? But the point is, I'm just trying to give you guys insight into his mindset, where he's going to be like, really, you know, he would probably say, I threw that game. That would be his way of just summing up. I know I made big mistakes. Maybe I wouldn't have made in a ladder game very often. Very, very low percentage in practice I make those mistakes. Now we've got a probe hiding behind the natural here. Just going to come in. Oh, and he sees the command center. If he hides back there, he might not get spotted for a long time. Sickest thing, you build a pylon here. Warp in some DTs. Twilight Council is on the way. We've got an Adept and a Stalker. And like I said, Skillous doesn't like to pressure at the front very much. So in this scenario, imagine if an Adept went straight across the map and he chronoed a second Stalker or Adept to defend the Reaper. He could have probably picked off an SCV, done some damage, got out of there before the Cyclone was out. The thing is, Skillous very rarely does that. He very rarely does that. Got the Robo on the natural as well. The Twilight Council is there. Going up to 3 barracks, and the factory's finishing as well. Okay, we're going to go Blink in a moment. Of course, he squeezed the Robo in, which does delay Blink by a few seconds. Just needs that 150 minerals. And chronos it immediately to make up for that slight delay. So this is a pretty solid build order. 2-gate Blink Robo. An early shield battery, just giving him a little bit of insurance. And Skillous is, you know, didn't have the craziest amount of scouting, but, well, he saw the factory, right? So, this is the thing is, HeroMarine building tanks. If he builds a second tank, I don't even know if we're going to see a starport. We might just see him pull the boys and go with a second tank. Tech Lab will go down there, usually. He could build Marines, but normally you still want the Tech Lab. Yeah, second tank. Okay, guys, so HeroMarine's committing. So HeroMarine is going to be going for just a 2-gas build. These gases will not go down until his push is underway. He's going to push with probably 2 siege tanks. Maybe he waits for the third one. He might wait for the third one. And Stim, shields, Marines, Marauders, tanks. He might go pure Marine even, potentially. That is an option. And essentially, you want to pull about 3 or 4 SCVs and usually try to bunker the low ground while siege tank pushing on this ramp. Now, luckily for Skillous, he builds his robo further back. If he built it there, it would get sniped so early in this push, and that would be a big problem. Cyclone finds an adept. That's a very nice pick-off. That's a very good pick-off to shut down Skillous scouting even more. Skillous does have an observer coming in, and this is a really important scout, guys. That's a big sign of aggression. Let's see how Skillous reacts. We're going to Skillous's camera. He's got a Robo Bay on the way, so he's going 2-base Colossus right now. If I were him, I would do nothing but warp in units. He's building a second battery on the natural. I would probably try to squeeze an extra gateway or 2 in. Yeah, there we go. So he's going to go 4-gate Colossus defense here with Blink Stalker. So the Blink Stalkers need to move forward and harass this and pick off units as it comes across. Now, he could try to chrono charge and do like 4-gate charge as the follow-up. I'm not sure if he'll try for that or not. Good scan by HeroMarine. Does limit his vision. He's got another observer coming though. And charge, yeah, he already queued up charge. So he's got Colossus, chrono boost, charge being chrono boosted in a moment. And he's just going to build Pylons, Stalkers, Zealots, Colossus. Pylons, Stalkers, Zealots, Colossus. And he's just all about surviving this push. And the thing is, because Skillous spotted this early enough, and HeroMarine, guys, I was saying maybe he'll wait for the 3rd tank. He's waited a long time to push out with his 3rd tank and a 4th one halfway building. Does have stim and shields. And look at this, the Stalkers being forward. Dude, gets a Marauder. Hasn't baited a stim. Remember, HeroMarine has no medevacs, no engineering bay upgrades with this. He does have those SCVs pulling as well. Could build bunkers, could just repair. Cyclone almost dead there. Skillous, should be able to save that Cyclone. It does. Okay, Stalker goes down, but the Cyclone does as well. The Stalkers need to heal at this point. And here we go. Looks like he took out something behind the natural. I think it was the Reaper. The Colossus gets a big shot off. Ooh, and he baits a stim as well, which is, remember that, those hit points aren't coming back, guys. Those hit points are not coming back. He forces him to siege a bit further back. HeroMarine sees no 3rd base, and he's like, oh, shit. He's like, I really was hoping you'd gone for a 3rd, dude. Engineering bay, +1's on the way. He needs to take 2 gases. If HeroMarine wants to transition from this, he needs to take gases, and he needs to get a starport up yesterday. 3rd gas goes down. He's still keeping up unit production. He's still trying to march forward, but Skillous, oh, he chooses his time to walk forward just as he unsieges. The star sense of Skillous there. Perfect timing on that, but he only gets 1 tank because he doesn't have a lot of ranged firepower, right? 3rd Colossus is on the way, more Stalkers are on the way. If he can get 6 gateways, yeah, 6 gateways and Zealots adding in will be massive. He needs more Pylons though, and he knows that HeroMarine could have a 3rd command center down by now. He's not sure if HeroMarine's going to keep committing or not, so he wants to break this. Gets a stim out, takes some units, but oh no! Oh no! Okay, he does kill a lot of the bio there. Oh, losing a Colossus is so bad, but he's got a 2nd one almost out. And he's actually, the DT Shrine is genius. If he had a forward pylon somewhere as well, that would probably be a GG DT Shrine. As it is, if he can sneak these DTs out after this scan, like warp them in, send them around the army, straight across the map, that would be huge. He can also take a 3rd base soon as well. Right now, he's got a Zealot scouting. I'm surprised he didn't bring this Observer back. If Skillous brought this Observer home, that would be massive. As it is, though, he knows that the 3rd command center has just started. He started this 3rd Nexus. He's going to send some Zealots to do a bit of a backstab. Where are those DTs? I'd love to see them warp in right now. Gets a Marauder, pulls back with the Zealots. DTs, come on. Or he's going to wait for the Warp Prism. I think he's going to wait to warp them into the main base. That works. That does work. Oh, no! He just canceled that reactor. I think that was a mistake on the factory. Oh, no, he's going to use the reactor in the main. Okay, so he's going back to build a tank. Medevacs up in the main base is HeroMarine. He's got the 3rd command center, concussive. Yeah, he's building into a decent macro game. This game's going to stabilize from here, and even though there's a DT drop coming, the army's at home. And as long as he has any scans available, he'll be good. Now, he's just hitting 50 energy on both command centers. I think Skillous waits until there's something else happening at the same time. I don't think he's going to actually go in until HeroMarine moves out to take his 3rd. So when HeroMarine floats out, this army will just distract. He doesn't want to actually fight. It's just a oogie boogie army, as I call it, an army looking to scare him. And he's going to try and, yeah, as he comes out to the 3rd, see if he can distract, drop DTs in the corner, and get some big damage done. Only 54 probes for Skillous. He's still on a pretty weak economy. He's got 6 gateways +1. 3rd Colossus does come out. Adding Immortals now as well on his Robo. This is the moment. See HeroMarine, look, just getting units shaved off. Skillous is gonna try and say, oh, okay, let's go for it. Right in the corner. HeroMarine does not see this. He does not see these DTs dropping out. Skillous is gonna go 1 in each mineral line. And look at this, distraction at the front. Big old distraction, very nicely done. And the DTs, 1 in each mineral line. Observer goes down. Oh, the DT does stumble into scan, but the other two DTs doing the damage. This is massive. Another DT in the main. Ooh, 11 workers already, and that DT being a nuisance. He might even be able to get out of there. Oh, blinks forward and gets a siege tank at the front as well. And he grabs another tank. Oh, no, he does pull back from that one, but still, Zealots and DTs in the main base. He warps in more DTs, and he's actually going to take out some of these add-ons. Does pull out of the detection. Oh, he picks up. Nice pick up on the Warp Prism. Skillous here being a bit of a cheeky dickhead. I love it. +1 Blink DT on the way as well. Will he take a 4th base? We'll have to wait and see. Okay. I like the way Skillous is doing this. Just DTs seem to be one of his special skill sets, right? And I was like, hey, he's just going to play Phoenix, Turtle, Colossus every game. Not the case at all. Skillous is showing great range as a player. And he's showing not only does he have a penchant for that Mega Turtle, Air Robo kind of mech toss play, but he also can play a very, very good, you know, use some DT shenanigans. Oh, looks like he's building for a big attack when HeroMarine moves out to take his 3rd. Look at this. Zealot Archon in a giant arc. Prism spots the Doom Drop. Prism spots a Doom Drop. You know you can't fly in there now as HeroMarine. Will HeroMarine do it anyway? Oh, that's such a gamble. That's such a gamble. That's crazy, dude. He has Blink. He doesn't have many Stalkers, though, so I guess you can get out of there. Oh, he didn't actually recall enough units. Oh, no, and he's stuck behind his own units. Oh, this is so good for HeroMarine. He gets a bunch of Stalkers and Archons, and he just picks up and leaves. Lol, that was a great trade for HeroMarine. Damn. HeroMarine way more efficient in the units lost tab this game. That was not a great recall. Should have brought some Colossus back with their range. It would have been way more efficient for Skillous. Sorry guys, just clearing the throat there. Gold base is up for Skillous as HeroMarine takes his 3rd, so maintaining a very nice income lead. I think Skillous would probably like to take a 5th base pretty early as well, even if he's staying low probes, just so he has somewhere to transfer probes to, because his natural's half mined out. Actually, I guess he's only on 60 workers, so yeah, he doesn't really have anywhere to mine from. Archon Zealot in the main base! Oh my god, that's a lot of DTs as well. DT Zealot Archon in the main. Skillous Warp Prism will go down to those Vikings. The tank on the low ground helps out. This one's not doing well. This is actually really inefficient for Skillous. He gets his Warp Prism out of there somehow. He loses a lot of Zealot DT. Can he make it worth it by hitting here? The tanks are still sieged. Skillous just being annoying. Doesn't want to dive in. Man, Skillous really plays kind of Korean style almost on his probe count now. I think it's because HeroMarine is so scary and he could just kill you at any moment. But he's staying so low on the worker count, really focused on the army usage as Skillous, and HeroMarine's just going to try and sneak a double drop. Oh, a single drop out the top. That's interesting. I think he wanted to use the healthy medevac. He wants to try and drop this top side if possible. I do like this pylon spotter, but a few more pylons on the edges would give some great vision. 8 gateways up. He's going to 12 gateways now. 4 more gateways come down. +2 attack is on the way for Skillous. Supply's dangerously close, though. And if the ghosts start to come out, which they do, that's severely going to weaken this army. And it's just about protecting your tank count, really, for HeroMarine. As long as he doesn't get caught out unsieged and his bio is in front to defend from the Mass Zealot Archon, I think he's okay. Right now, to be fair, I think if Skillous A moved, he wins the game. Just because there's actually not enough bio there to defend the Zealot Archon, and he doesn't have Ghosts yet. But this works really well. Skillous doesn't realize that he's sent a dropout, doesn't realize that he's got way more Zealots than he has bio, and so he misses that timing, pulls this whole army back to defend this, and this is just peak efficient play for HeroMarine. Small drops, distracting, buying time. He's got to get more ghosts out. He's got 3 ghosts so far. He should definitely keep building these. He's building more Marine Marauder right now. No 4th command center. Okay, he's coming on forward. Nice observer placement there. Doesn't spot it. Sees his whole army movement. It's a big, scary Protoss army. 25 Zealots and Archon, 3 Immortals, 3 Colossus, 12 Stalkers. Does not have that much bio. 14 Marauders, 23 Marines. I actually think HeroMarine's much better off maxing out here than pushing into this. We know that because we see everything. Oh, great saves on the Colossus. Good pullback by Skillous, who's sending a big Zealot attack around the top side. It's going to be hard for him to deal with. Stalkers blink. Stalkers could focus down these Vikings. Skillous a little slow on that. I think he used the blink to get back, which is why he couldn't punish those Vikings for chasing so far. Honestly, though, shout out to Skillous. He kept all 3 Colossus alive and the Warp Prism with some amazing pickups. His Zealots did miss an opportunity to run by, which is always a bit of an issue. The armies are growing in size, and as they grow in size, I feel like this favors HeroMarine. Unless Disruptors come out, a 4th Colossus is kind of cute, but unless you catch HeroMarine unsieged with his Vikings maybe a bit to the rear, I think HeroMarine's building a better force over time. Now, HeroMarine's actually played single engineering bay this whole time, and I love this style, just slowly adding upgrades one at a time. A lot of players sit on 1-1 until like 12 minutes, and then they finally start 2-2. I like it just a bit more of a gradual, one upgrade at a time. Unless you're really all in, might as well do it that way. Oh my god, Skillous committing to a crazy push angle. He gets flanked and one Colossus drops. And I don't think this was the fight Skillous was looking for. He breaks through some of the tanks there. A lot of the bio on the top! That bio abandoned the tanks for a moment, and these Zealots on the left are actually going to clear the tanks. I can't believe the tanks got cleared out there. Oh my god, he does do a drop at the same time though, kills 9 probes on the natural. He's gonna pull that drop out. There's more Zealots here. I can't believe Skillous won this fight. That was a terrible attack angle for Skillous. And HeroMarine, he's so close to getting the 3-1 victory. He's just got to defend these Zealots with the EMPs coming out. Does lose a tank, but he clears all the Zealots and Stalkers. He's still got a drop in the north. HeroMarine is looking to be in a very good position in terms of that army fight. His efficiency, 5,000 resources better, and he's got a 4th floating out to the gold. As long as he transfers his SCVs, he's up 5 workers right now. He's up 25 army supply. And Skillous was really stuck on such a low-tier mass zealot army. Like I said, he's not probing up. He's not adding disruptors. And it felt like he got desperate looking for the engagement there. And HeroMarine, you know, he had a good tank position. Those zealots coming around the left hurt him. And his bio going around the top right also hurt him. Those were his 2 big mistakes in that fight for HeroMarine. Despite that, the beginning of the fight was basically Skillous' whole army attacking from here up around this choke point. And here turned into a death zone. It was an absolute disgusting area to be fighting. It was a really bad position to be fighting. Should not have committed to that. Marine's coming on in. We've got a prism there. Bio moving forward. Big army in the south side. Okay. Colossus there as well. Dude, HeroMarine's, I mean, his army's still adding. Look, he's got +3 weapons on the way. He's got 4 ghosts. He doesn't have many tanks anymore, so I guess you could say as the Colossus count, if a 3rd Colossus comes out, yeah, he does need Vikings, and he's building them. He's still got 6 medevacs. He's building Vikings. Should probably repair this depot. He's going to lose a depot. He's at 200 supply. Don't think it matters. Now, Skillous is still transferring to these bases, right? And he's just going full army commitment. Just Zealots, Stalkers. He's got 3-1 upgrades, so he's ahead on the upgrades. Oh, those EMPs are good. 2 EMPs go down. There's more where that came from. I mean, Skillous is right now playing a little bit like a marauding psychopath, and I'll tell you what, HeroMarine gets triggered against Protoss players that just keep making Zealots and A-moving. Every Terran does get a little annoyed at this because you're like, seriously? You're just going to make tier 1 units that lose to my army? But if he catches you out of position, you can absolutely still lose this game as HeroMarine. He's also adding Disruptors. Definitely a big comeback play is the Disruptor. The double Robo as well. HeroMarine, you've got to continue to be patient, and I'd like to see more little drops like this. I'd like to see him try the bottom angle again, even though there is an observer set up there, just to probe maybe through this bottom area and try to drop in on this corner so you avoid the slow zones. He's taking a 5th command center right now as well. +3 weapons getting close to done. Armor upgrades are actually getting really nice for Skillous. So unless the EMPs hit clean on the Zealots, his Zealots might actually do very well. DT starting to take out these Marines. Medevac goes down. That DT will corner these units. Marine spotters keep going out just to probe where is this army? Where are you hanging out? Zealot up there also cleaning up some Marines. We've got a Liberator in the top side. Very low APM, easy to execute harassment. I love it. Always having at least 1 tool on the Protoss' side of the map. Big Marauder Marine count. Only 5 ghosts. I would like to see just a couple more ghosts. It's probably enough EMP, but definitely a few more in there. Could be nice just to make sure he's got plenty of EMPs after the first fight. How many barracks do we have right now? It's just 6 barracks. So it's just 2 reactors, 4 tech labs. So he never really got up to the 8 barracks count, did HeroMarine? Not going to be able to rebuild very quickly. Whereas 12 gateways for Skillous. So if Skillous can max out and then bank up a little bit, he's going to kind of have a more powerful army when he gets there, because he's got less workers and he'll have more production. That being said, it is still mostly Zealot Stalker. And those units are best described as premium grade scat. Yeah. I mean, it has uses as fertilizer, but unless he lands a big ball, this looks like a really good fight for HeroMarine. Colossus and a Prism goes down. Thanks to Siege, yet another good fight. But oh, there we go. Big Zealot DT backstab, no wall off. HeroMarine though, comes down, drops an EMP, cleans up the first 5 Zealots like they're nothing. You can see here Skillous is kind of looking for that multi-prong, looking for a distracted HeroMarine. Another Colossus. Looks like it almost goes down, but not quite. Stalkers don't really get any Vikings, and HeroMarine is just out positioning and outplaying Skillous little by little, but Skillous he's playing elusively. He will not let HeroMarine pin him down, and he's still building a big army. And so there is still hope for him. It's not feeling good. It feels like he's slowly losing all the small skirmishes, but none of these has been a big decisive winning blow. And there's always the chance of a Terran player getting impatient, stepping into the balls. Remember, guys, there's always the chance for a Protoss to just teabag a Terran who's getting cocky, who's going, oh, this game's over. My army's so much better. Just throw the game, take a bad fight. Skillous is not dumb enough to take a bad fight. Yes, he's taking bad skirmishes, but then he pulls back when he realizes it's bad for the most part. So he's throwing out some disruptors, gets a few Marauders and Ghosts, picks off a few Vikings, so that got a little sloppy for HeroMarine, a little inefficient. Meanwhile, look at this. Stalker, Zealot, DT comes in from behind. Uh-oh. But actually, EMPs plus Stim Bio, great micro by HeroMarine. Will his army in the middle get jumped on, though? Tanks are firing pretty well. This looks pretty good for HeroMarine. Does still need to deal with these Zealots, which are being annoying. It looks like a DT came up the top, did get killed by the Planetary. Still being distracting is Skillous. He's trying to get HeroMarine to make these mistakes. So far, HeroMarine is refusing to make the big mistakes that Skillous is looking for. Looks like finally cleaning that one up. Bio army in the middle. Watch out for the balls. Oh, first big ball lands, but there's a big bio flank on the north that could do big. HeroMarine's getting impatient. He wants to win the game right now. His army does... Okay, dodges the disruptor on the top. Army coming from two sides. How do you micro on two separate screens, though? It's very hard. Another ball lands. That ball completely whiffs, though. Big Zealot Warping comes in. It looks like the top angle got completely crushed. And oh my god, did HeroMarine overextend? HeroMarine absolutely overextended there. And that's what we're talking about. Skillous was being that elusive player who's just hanging in there, losing skirmish after skirmish after skirmish. But what he was filling up was the impatience meter. And he got the limit break. The Protoss vs Terran, or even, not even Protoss vs Terran, the Protoss vs HeroMarine limit break is HeroMarine getting pissed off. And you know he was streaming while he was playing this, and you know he was talking shit. Just leave, stupid Protoss player. You're playing like 5.6k player. Come on, just let me win the game. And I know, because that's exactly what I'd be saying in the same scenario. You're so aware of the fact that you're winning, your opponent's kind of investing in what is basically a defunct composition of mostly Zealot Stalker. He's just hoping that you mess up. And then, in your cockiness, you mess up and you go out there and take a horrendous engagement. There was no reason for HeroMarine to force the issue. He just felt like, it is my right to win the game at this point, and he tried to force it, and you cannot force it. He attacked out. A lot of his army got hit by DTs and disruptors. A lot of his army was spending more time dodging disruptors than fighting, and you could see the way Skillous' army kind of picked him apart piece by piece. It's letting Skillous back into this series, and you know what? I thought this was going to be a heartbreaking game 2 for Skillous with 2 big missed opportunities into a 3-1 for HeroMarine, but now Skillous is actually fighting his way back into it. He's the one who's up in supply. He's still at a pretty shit worker count of 55, but remember, that gives him a supercharged army supply, and his upgrades are sick. 3-3-1 upgrades versus the 3-2 of Terran. So he's even got a Plasma Shield upgrade. DT is ready to attack from the north. Good scouting on that Observer Snipe for Big Gabe. You do not want to attack. Look at the spready from Gabe, which is awesome because he can kind of stim, A-move, and it'll do its job, but it's also a little weak because it means it's hard to start a step when you're spread across so many screens. Uh-oh. Big giant attack here from the Protoss player. The Planetary does start getting repaired. He needs to pull more SCVs to repair that. The Planetary's tanking a lot right now. Big army comes in from the north side. Disruptor shots going out. 4 Colossus doing their work, and there's no Vikings. Guys, there's no Vikings. There's 3 Vikings on the map. I don't know where they are because they're definitely not here. DT's hit the mineral line on the 3rd at the same time. That allows Skillous to be patient. He doesn't feel like he's got to force the issue. Balls flying out of both flanks, but the Prism does get taken out just before the Warping finishes. If he can cleanse the Colossus, the Marauders will hunt down everything. And oh, even just a handful of Marauders with the spread, he do well. But he loses his 3rd orbital, and the balls get out of there. HeroMarine, frustrated. He works himself into an advantage methodically, slowly, and then he gets a bit impetuous, takes a bad fight, and he just turns that game upside down. Skillous there, not giving him the good fight, being annoying, constantly posturing aggressively, and not letting HeroMarine go forward and set up a push. And that set up the ability for him to sort of ambush HeroMarine in that middle of the map. We've got to watch that fight really quickly one more time. I think it was about, 19, 20 minutes. So you can see, like, yeah, this fight here, he's like killing stuff for free, he's kicking ass, but he gets really impatient at some point here, doesn't he? After winning, and look at the units lost before this. He's up 5,000 resources, and this is the first time where he kind of chases him out and goes and throws some units away for not that efficient a fight, right? but he's going to do it again in a moment here. And you can see the way the Zealots weren't really finding the efficient damage. But HeroMarine's like, dude, just let me pin you down and finish you. And here we go. This is it. This is the fight. So let's look at this fight. So first things first, HeroMarine is up 32 army supply. Now, does he have any units that aren't in the battle? Well, he's still fighting those 2 Zealots, so he's a little distracted with his rally. He's got 2 Liberators here, which is not too big of a deal. I think the Liberator's 2 or 3 supply. I'm not quite sure. I think 3 supply, but I could be wrong on that. Chat will correct me. He's got a giant army against what is 1 Colossus here, another Colossus rallying out, 22 Zealots, some Stalkers, few Disruptors, 2 Sentries. He's got a ton of Marine Marauder Ghost, and some 5 Vikings. I feel like HeroMarine numbers-wise should have this fight. So let's watch what went down here. Now, obviously, okay, he's coming in with a big angle. First Disruptor shot gets like 3 Marauders, which is pretty good. And, okay. Those Zealots on the left are going to get absolutely crushed, right? They're going to do nothing. But keep in mind, most of this bio is not really fighting, right? On the right side, doesn't really hit anything. These tanks are going down, so those tanks are falling. And the army on the left is still not fighting because it's getting hit by Disruptors and dodging, while this army on the top gets kind of isolated and jumped on. So we see the problem with trying to do a giant pre-spread versus Disruptors does mean that like the Zealot Stalker can kind of jump on half your army, right? I almost need to watch this again because it's like, it's kind of crazy the way he crushed this fight, but just keep in mind that it feels like HeroMarine's army is not quite fighting. I think he needed to have some bio down here or this bio like a little bit deeper so he's actually coming in all at once. It feels like he was just a little disjointed and his stims are running out even before the fight happens. And keep in mind, oh, he has 10 medevacs, guys, but look, this is like the fight starting, hit point check. The Marauders are already at 85 hit points, which means they've taken 2 stims worth of damage. Oh, the Marines as well. So he's already... This stim is going to run out pretty soon as well, right? Before the fight really happens. So he's going to have to do a 3rd stim in a moment when this runs out, right? Yeah, the stim runs out. The fight's barely begun, and all of his bio is already double or triple stimmed. And like I said, these guys are kind of clumped up. They're not actually... If they were coming in from here, bam, bam, bam. Disruptor Colossus crumbles while the Zealot Stalker jumps on the army on the north. But that's not the case. And look, the Vikings up here do not kill the Prism or the Colossus. So the Vikings don't really do their job at all. Okay, they get 1 Colossus. And then I think they damage the other. I don't think they kill it. No, they don't. And he gets a Zealot warping down here as well. Oh, man. And those big 12 gateways allowing you to just warp 24 supply into the fight. Wow, what a turnaround. What an absolute turnaround. That's incredible. Tying up the series 2-2. Alright guys, let's go. Game 5. He's found himself here after a frustrating game 4. A bit of a resurrection in game 3. So to be fair, it all balances out. HeroMarine going for the very far forward proxy barracks up against Skillous. Skillous is sending a gateway scout once again. Man, this Reaper gets in here really early. And because Skillous doesn't wall off at all, there or there, it's going to be hard to deal with. Let's see how Skillous responds. Let's go to his camera. So he's going to come up the ramp.
Thanks for the Bezos box.
He's immediately going to go check the gas usually. Yeah. So you see he's going to go Cybercore before Nexus. He pulls his probe back, sees the 2 gases, and he's like, okay, that's cool, no worries. He's going to check around with his probe on the other side to see if the barracks is near home, maybe? Oh no, he's just hanging on the natural. He's going to go Nexus. And he should go pylon before second gas. Now, a lot of people go pylon on 20 in this scenario because they want the probe to go back to mining or do other things. I prefer 21. You can squeeze a probe in and it still won't delay you building that first adept. Because you can see here on the production tab, that pylon's going to finish well before the Cybercore. Oh, and he does see this bunker coming in. He knows this is a forward barracks. And as I said, Cybercore finishes about 2.5 seconds after the pylon, but he's going to chrono a Stalker. So he says, okay, you're going to bunker Reaper rush me. No worries, dude. No worries. He's like, I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to fight. Big thanks to those people subbing. I'm going to give you guys some big shout outs and replay those alerts just after this match. Probe's going for a surround on the Reaper. Good pullbacks by Skillous, keeping them all alive. Stalker is better than an Adept because it does much more damage to Armored and it's got good range as well. So he runs down there. I'm surprised he hasn't put a shield battery down, to be fair, guys. Most people would put a battery down. He might drop it now. as more Reapers could get in. Second Reaper, feels like this guy's a little late, that second Reaper. Maybe didn't start him immediately. Factory's down very quick though. And he's pulled off gas so that he can get that command center up. Now the Stalker here going in and out. He does put a shield battery down. You can see that pylon taking a fair bit of damage. Notice he tried to move forward to hit that SCV, but HeroMarine not getting hit once. And you can actually dodge the projectiles as you guys saw there. Now as long as this battery finishes before the pylon goes down, Skillous should be all good, as he can both overcharge it as well as just use it for regular healing. Third Stalker's on the way, and he's going to go Stargate. Now that is very interesting, and I think it's just an Oracle straight into Blink is what Skillous wants to play. But it's so late on the Stargate. I feel like as much as it can track his army, you definitely don't want to play Phoenix Colossus from here. If Skillous does that, I think that's a very bad call. See exactly how he goes. He's going to break this. Does have to battery overcharge to touch up the healing. All three Reapers get on out. Got a starport there, factory as well. Barracks is coming down. We've got the command center there. Got extra gateways on the way. Second gateway. Reaper's just having a little pokey poke. Still got a Stalker on the high ground as well. 2 Stalkers, more than a match for 3 Reapers. But the grenades, the great equalizer if you don't dodge them. It's going to be a Widow Mine drop to follow things up. And it is actually Phoenix play. So I disagree fundamentally with Phoenix play when you're going into Phoenix so late, because they're so late. You've already invested in so many Stalkers. Don't you want to play Blink? Because what are you going to do with 4 Stalkers? They're not going to get Blink all game. If you're going Phoenix, you don't want to be going Stalkers, Phoenix, Stalkers with Blink and Phoenix at the same time. However, if you think about it, he's going Widow Mine drop. Phoenix, very good versus Widow Mine drop, but do this supply block. Phoenix production was very delayed there. He needs to put another pylon down right now. Skillous, you cannot afford to get supply blocked again here. There we go. Oh! It blocked him! You little fudging piece of shit! Oh! Dude, if he didn't notice and that pylon didn't go down and he got supply blocked again really bad on 54 because of that, I would have actually just gone and punched that fucking robot in the crotch. Seriously, get such an ass. Anyway, Widow Mine drop coming around the left side of the map. We've got the Robo coming up, the Phoenix as well. Phoenix are not in position though. Widow Mine drop could still be effective since there's only 2. If he had 3 or 4 Phoenix, it'd be a different story, but he's also leaving as the Widow Mine drop comes in. No, gonna go home, go home. Go back, go back, go back. Oh no, oh no. Now, interestingly, HeroMarine looks like he doesn't want to go in blind. And I think that's because he's like, nah, I don't want to just get this shut down. So he's kind of waiting for the Reapers to distract. And then he's going to go in. This could work very nicely. The Phoenix are going to leave the base. HeroMarine maybe realizing that Skillous loves this style on big maps. Both Reapers are going to go down, but there go 2 of your lifts. Your Phoenix move out. And the Widow Mine drop says, yep, you're going to go across the map now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Widow Mine drop go in. Or he's actually going to wait for the Phoenix to appear at his base. HeroMarine's waiting for the confirmation. And then he's going to send it in. Watch this, guys. Watch HeroMarine's camera. He keeps thinking about going in, but he's waiting. He's waiting. He's waiting. He sees the Phoenix on the minimap and he goes in. Dude. Genius timing from HeroMarine to maximize his chances of getting that one off. Gets a few probes. Doesn't get any gigantic hits. And he does reburrow 1 Widow Mine, but Skillous notices it. 5 kills. Not going to be game ending. Widow Mine drop's going to try and hide. He's going to burrow Widow Mines spread out here and hide the medevac in the corner. Phoenix will spot these Widow Mines, and he will be able to pick those off. You know what? Pretty good defense by Skillous, who's going into Colossus play now. He wants to play that style he's known for. Does find another Widow Mine down there. Can he find the medevac? Does the medevac just hide in the corner? And does Skillous find it? Skillous with the spread on the Phoenix. He's hunting. He's hungry. He doesn't find it. He doesn't check the corner. Oh, HeroMarine gets away with that. On the other hand, HeroMarine has gone Raven 3 racks. Raven is so bad versus Phoenix, it is laughable, guys. The Phoenix could just fly past here and they will one-shot the Raven. It's actually just so bad. However, as Special pointed out, if you can protect it and keep it alive and Interference Matrix the Colossus, it can straight up win the game. That Raven can be a game winner, or it can just disappear basically for free. Now, when the Phoenix fly through for that, what he's going to do is... Oh, very nice. Gets the Observer. He's going to try and focus fire the Phoenix so that they don't spread their attacks out. Oh, Skillous. Watch out, buddy. Going up to more gateways. Viagra is on the way. Second Colossus as well. He's going to be probing up that third base a little, but only gradually. So, feels like Skillous is saying, hey, this is enough workers. Stop at this point. Get army and fight. But charge is still a long way away. He's chrono boosting it, showing how important he knows it is. Now, if he can pick up some Marines and Marauders, that would be huge. Skillous, he's going to need to start picking up the rally. This is actually not that scary a push just yet. I think his Phoenix should be picking up the rally. But Skillous, once again, same as in game 1, plays this so different to how I would expect. He's so patient with the Phoenix, saving all of his lifts, but I think these are free kills. You got to go for them. He's got no battery on the natural. Oh, he does. It's further back, though. Okay, good positioning for the start of the fight. The Colossus needs to pull to the high ground. Interference Matrix could go down at any moment, but HeroMarine also being very patient with that. Phoenix have picked up a lot of the reinforcements. Do we have an Observer? No Observer out right now. Phoenix will take a Widowmine shot. Hey, one Phoenix for that Widowmine. Not too bad. Third command center is almost finished behind this, so HeroMarine not all in. Decides to just pull home. Raven's still looking very exposed, but it's survived and it's gathering energy. It could get up to double Interference Matrix. Very nice. I have had people comment that I comment a lot about the Viagra upgrade, not the Cialis. What's the Cialis? I don't know what that is. You guys tell me what that is. Phoenix picking off Medivacs. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'm gonna have to do some Googling later, hopefully with safe search turned on. Phoenix, can we get the Raven? Raven! No. Alright, you see that you're up against a third. Do we take a fourth here as Skillous? I think you got to. It's got a second Forge, second Robo on the way. We're going to a big boy macro game. Big boy macro game. Okay. Tanks there as well. Marauders, Marines, Raven building up. Second Starport very early, guys. We're going late game. Gentleman's agreement to late game, but Skillous, I don't know, dude. Where's the fourth base? I like that he's getting some pylons out there. I'd actually like even more of them. Like, get one out on this left side as well. I do love the proxy gate for the Zealot run-bys. This is like a budget warp prism, essentially. Fourth Nexus is on the way. Archon's Disruptors building. I want to see that second Forge spinning as well, guys. But because he's built them in different locations, it's very easy to chrono one and not two at the same time. You should always build your Forges in the same location. Now, people often argue, but then it could get sniped. That's why you should be building it somewhere about here to begin with. Here or here. These are the safest areas, but much easier to remember your upgrades and chrono both of them if you're not having to jump between different bases. So Twilight Forges, personal preference, I much prefer just having it all centralized. Easy to chrono boost then, rather than having to hop around. Now obviously Skillous is fast enough with his 300 APM. He doesn't care too much. He's like, dude, I can click around, it's fine. But for us normies, definitely something to pay attention to. 5 barracks are pumping. Where's the 4th command center? Is HeroMarine going all in? Because HeroMarine, I mean, I say all in. Okay, not all in. That's a bad word usage. Is HeroMarine going for a timing attack? It feels like he is, because it's 10 minutes. He hasn't started the 4th. He's going to be maxing out with 1-1, no armory. So he's not going 2-2. He's not building a 4th command center. And he's got a giant Viking bio army. He's got Ghosts. He's got a Raven on full energy. And he's building 4 Vikings at a time. Oh, this is a very scary army. Guys, Skillous needs to see this push coming, and he needs to get in front of it and slow it down. Because he's nowhere near maxed right now. He's got to buy time. He's got a Chrono Disruptors, Mass Zealots. Dude, Skillous, he didn't see this army moving across. Oh, no. Oh, he's going to... Oh, no, he's going to... Oh, yes. He's going to base trade it. Skillous going to base trade. He's got a DT Shrine going up in the main base. He's like, that's fine. We'll base trade. That's cool, bro. Cool story, bro. But his 4th base will fall very quickly. HeroMarine has the jump on him for now. Disruptors are coming back, though. And Disruptors could spell the nasty. Disruptors could spell the nasty here for HeroMarine. They're going to slow down his advance a lot. But 2 balls caught out in the open. And HeroMarine does go for the Nutcrusher there. The Nutcracker, a very favorite move of Terran players. If you don't get rid of those early, then those Disruptors can really halt your advance. One Robo has fallen, and the other Robos are now stuck down here at the 3rd. More Zealot Stalker is warping in with those Disruptors. He hasn't got on top of HeroMarine's production, and HeroMarine doing a great job of rallying his units to the back and getting more of them out. Meanwhile, Protoss production has been breached. Not much more going to be built here for the Protoss player. Not much more at all. He's got a handful of Zealot Stalker there, some Disruptors. Dude, this army's kind of scary. It's actually growing for HeroMarine. Is it going to win? No, but if it kills some stuff, that would be awesome. Nice EMP there. Hits those Phoenix. Does take off all their shields. Gets one liberated, but there's 2 more behind it. Colossus should be able to shave this off. Guess what? That base is still mining as well with the bunker. Now he's warped in, I think, as much as he can, has Skillous. He's got a new base going up down there. He's going to try and just stop this army from moving down to the low ground. Meanwhile, barracks floating up to the top. I mean, no one's really getting any new units out anymore, so that is fair enough. Colossus will try and corner this army. No medevacs to help it escape. Ooh, got to be careful there, HeroMarine. Okay, I don't know who has the better army here. I think with the Raven, the Ghost of the Vikings, it should be HeroMarine. Yeah, there's no Storm. Just having 1 or 2 High Templar in the mix could change things. Of course, a few big balls. A few big balls could be very scary. Oh, I think he actually... You gotta be careful. You've only got 4 balls. You don't have that many, mate. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Tanks on the high ground gonna blast this Mineral Lion. He's gonna have to pull those probes out of there right now. That cannon actually does some pretty decent damage. It kills a medevac. It gets a medevac. Wow. Sick life. Battery overcharge would have been pretty good there as well. Unit's gonna elevate down. This army will move up here as well. Just gonna go full base trade right now. Skillous is taking a base here, but that one also could get jumped on potentially if the Terran ferries his way down very slowly. This commander... Oh, here's Phoenix. Oh, here's Phoenix, guys. This is not just a draw situation. This is a... He can hunt down all your buildings. But wait! HeroMarine's getting all of his units out of the main! Oh no, Skillous! You cannot let these guys join up with the other army. Oh, but he lands a big ball at the same time. Another ball picking off a Marauder. But he could get surrounded by these guys. That's a pretty good army there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Another ball does go down. There's only 4 balls, remember. These balls are sacred. If those balls fall, HeroMarine has an infinitely better army. With EMP, tanks, libs, Bio, Ghost, Raven. Like, that's just such a better army. Still, there's a pylon right there. This base is mining. More gateways are coming up for Skillous, who's actually only barely supply blocked right now. The power of these pylons around the map actually is super huge. Balls, not quite landing. He's throwing them out one after the other to buy time, but this base is going to get sieged on, mate. It's going to get sieged on. Tank moving down from there. Units are on the high ground. He's got to pull back from that last orbital command. No, there's still 1 more floating. 2 more building on the right side of this map. HeroMarine is now denied mining on this base. Skillous did not get enough money to rebuild. Oh no, Skillous can't build a Nexus elsewhere. Oh no, if he loses this Nexus, guys, he spent too much money. Uh oh, he's got a battery overcharge and heal that, and he's got to try and maybe break this situation. Maybe use Phoenix to come forward, but there's too many Vikings. Uh oh, battery overcharge and heal right now. Skillous, battery overcharge and heal. Heal. Oh, he's not using it. Okay, goes in. The Raven does go down. He's going to go for a big push. EMPs! Cleanse the Archons. This army is cleansed with the righteous fury of the EMP. The electromagnetic pulse. More like the electromagnetic absolute destruction pulse of bloody pump you into bloody juice, mate. That army just disappeared, and Skillous army was very good at zoning and buying time, but it was never going to stand toe-to-toe with that Terran army because it was still a mostly Zealot Stalker army. But this base, oh, if only he took a base over here, somewhere on the other side of the map. Actually, he did have a Nexus building. Never mind, guys, I'm blind. He did have a Nexus. He could have pulled over there, but I guess he figured, screw this, I'm going to lose the gold and stuff, and I don't know. I kind of feel like with the Phoenix, he could have kept playing the base trade game a little bit. All of the SCVs were on this right side of the map. That's all 15. That's all 15, and there's 16 SCVs, Pig. Where's number 16? Down here, building this guy. Ooh, great win by HeroMarine though, guys. GG, well played. I gotta say, a massive win for him. And it was unlikely we were gonna catch this orbital and trap all these SCVs, right? Skillous, I think he's got to be kicking himself for that game number 3. HeroMarine kicking himself for game number 4 though. But this was a very fun back and forth series. And the end of it, HeroMarine just a little bit too good. Barely wins this finals over Skillous. GG.